Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you today. I wanted to talk about my predictions. And I'm so much going on that I called it. If you go back and look at some of my previous videos, and I clearly said that I wanted Mike McCarthy to get that extra week of training camp in, because one, he's a new coach, he's naturally going to get it, but I wanted the Hall of Fame game as well, so that these guys can get into his system a whole lot quicker and have the extra time. And what happens? The Cowboys lobbied to get into the Hall of Fame game, and they did, and it's against one of their greatest rivalries. Now, some people may say the Redskins are a greater rivalry, or Philly, or something like that, but in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, we've had 3 Super Bowls against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and 2 went down as all-time classics. In fact, in my opinion, Lynn Swann was the only reason he's in the Hall of Fame is because of those Super Bowls. He never did anything during the regular seasons those years, but excuse me, during the playoffs and the Super Bowls against the Cowboys, he turned it on. So it made his career. There was a lot of reasons why the Cowboys lost those games, just sometimes it just didn't fall our way. Super Bowl 30 with the Jimmy Johnson team, but led by Barry Switzer, we third time's the charm. We finally defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers. But a lot of Steeler fans blame Neil O'Donnell. But it's nice to see us get into that game, not just because it's a classic rivalry, not just because Mike McCarthy needs that extra time, but because of the guys going into the Hall of Fame. Kudos to everybody going in this year. Some deserving, some I still say don't deserve yet. And others getting snubbed. But it's nice to see 2 classy organizations, well, Pittsburgh getting the word classy getting thrown around a lot more than the Cowboys. Cowboys are no more for dysfunction. But in all, 2 organizations that through the years were 2 of the best at their times. I mean, Steelers were the team of the 70s, still Curtin and everything, and the Dallas Cowboys were the team of the 90s with the triplets. So it's nice to know that one of my predictions came true. Now, I made another prediction that I pretty much guaranteed us to be in the playoffs this year. Now, of course, with a Jason Garrett-led team and this being an even year, that's almost automatic, because that seems to happen every even year that we're in the playoffs. But now that McCarthy's running the team, I'm not sure how it's going to be, especially if Dak Prescott decides to hold out. And watching Good Morning Football, they also cannot think of another time when a franchise quarterback has ever held out, especially if he's gotten franchise tagged. And they brought up Kirk Cousins, and even Kirk didn't hold out getting franchise tagged. But he knew what he was doing. He knew that the Redskins had no other options, and he was going to play on the tag, and he was going to leave. He knew that. Dak Prescott has no inkling of trying to leave Dallas. That's why him getting the franchise tag is a bit of a slap in the face. Now, everybody has their opinion about it, but if he does decide to hold out, I think that's going to go a long way as the leader of the team to show him that, 4 years I've been doing everything you've told me to do. I've sat back, I've watched everybody else get paid before me, and I haven't said a word. I haven't gotten mad. I haven't gone out of my way to say anything bad about the organization. I've gone on with my work to try and be the best quarterback I can be. And to get a franchise tag is basically slapping me in the face. And as the face of your franchise, I'm not going to stand for that. Now, if you want me to be the face of your franchise going forward, you should do right by me. You've done right by everybody else, but I think it's only a matter of time. Cowboys like playing stuff all the way to the end, knowing they're going to cave anyway. They've been doing this for far too long, and we as fans keep falling for it every single time. DeMarcus Lawrence, Zeke, oh my God, what are we going to do? We got to wait till the last minute. Oh God, the holdout's going to happen. And then 5 hours before deadline, we got a deal made, pen to paper. And I mean, it's just what the Cowboys do. But it'll be interesting to see if any more of my predictions come true. I did say playoffs, and I think I said 10-6 for our record, something like that. So I hope it happens. I'm excited about this year. It's finally nice to see some change. I do believe I said it was about 2 to 3 years away from a Super Bowl, just because of the turnover that we're going to have. And right now, that looks pretty much on point. As far as our free agency goes, we have tendered the second round tender on Blake Jarwin. We got an original round tender on Cooper Rush. So if he leaves in free agency, we're not going to get anything back for him. We re-signed Adam Redmond, offensive lineman, and we picked up the option on Jameez Olawale. So that's our moves, and that's 4 players that even they were free agents. They were more like exclusive right free agents, stuff like that. So we still had their rights. It was just a matter of picking up options and stuff like that. So we'll just have to see if anything else falls. I know a lot of teams around the league are waiting for that CBA to happen. With the new NFLPA president online, they should more than likely pass it because he is in line with the majority. And those guys don't feel that they're getting their dues more than the upper echelon players. And it's funny because those guys all said no and complained about the CBA, but they never showed up for meetings. So they shouldn't have an input whatsoever. But we'll have to see what happens. The deadlines have been moved. I do believe it's Saturday night for the CBA to get ratified or not. And with that, the players that have already voted asked the NFLPA if they can change their votes now. And the NFLPA said no. So that's going to be a source of contention now, too, that a lot of players might have changed their minds when they're getting more information. And the deadlines kept getting pushed back, so they're getting more ideas about what the CBA is and is not. But now they can't change their votes because the NFLPA denied them. Go figure. It is Russell Okung, the vice president of the NFLPA union, that has sued his own organization, saying that the player representatives acted in bad faith, that DeMaurice Smith has been trying to push this CBA and not really informing these players of everything that it constitutes. So that's going to be a thing. I mean, this year with the CBA, like I said before, it's just a big mess. Somebody said it's a big mess. Eric Reed's lawyers said that the CBA is a hot mess. So in totality, it's just going to be, it's not going to get everybody in line. It's not like baseball or basketball where all the players are in unison. These guys just basically look out for themselves. They're not really worried about everybody else. They're not worried about players down the line. They're all about themselves right now. They are not, for a union, they're not really unified. Let's see. The franchise tag deadline is now Monday, 11:59 a.m. And then 1 minute later, the free agency tampering period begins at noon. And then 2 days later, free agency begins on March 18th. Right now, they have not pushed that time back or changed any of that, but we'll have to see. And just reading on, just hearing on the radio on my way to work, XFL, Seattle Dragons, I think is the name, is going to be the first big American sports event that's going to be held in front of 0 fans. I get college is going to be doing it and some soccer games, but most Americans are looking at football or baseball, and this will be the first one held without fans in the stands. I do believe that the Golden State Warriors will be playing a couple home games in front of no fans either. So these are the first major sports in America that will be having no fans in the stadiums. It's going to look weird on TV, to be honest, but we'll just have to see what else happens. Everybody's freaking out about it. It's a big thing now with the coronavirus. So I hope everybody stays safe, stay clean, stay hygienic, wash your hands, do whatever you can to protect yourself. If you feel a cold coming on or anything, you better down some Theraflu. All right, everybody. Have a happy hump day. Talk to y'all again soon. Peace.